Greetings, saints, in the name of Jesus. My name is Ndamulelo Mukwebo, a member of ETI MSG in Sogwaba branch. Today I'll be the one sharing just a short word of encouragement under the topic, Serving God who does the impossible and believing in God for the impossible. The key verse that we'll be reading today is found in Luke 1 verse 37, and it reads as follows: For with God nothing will be impossible. I will read again. For with God nothing will be impossible. Okay, from the verse that we just read, there's one word that I actually just wanted to emphasize, and the word that actually speaks more to me. It's the word that says will. The verse says that with God nothing will be impossible. So that word actually speaks about not just what has happened, but also focuses on the future, nothing that will come. Whatever situation is, nothing that will come in your life would be impossible with God, and that's where I would want to focus on. If we look at just the entire chapter of Luke chapter 1, it actually started with the life of Elizabeth, or rather the blessing that Elizabeth was entrusted with the Lord. The fact that she was a woman of age, and the angel actually visited her husband and promised the husband that she was going to be pregnant and have a son. And also you can just read through it and like just get an understanding of what actually happened. But what I actually wanted to focus on was on the fact that Elizabeth, when she was pregnant, obviously she was a lady of age, and according to the understanding of biology, according to a human understanding, that would have seemed very much impossible because of the fact that she was a woman of age. But because the word says that there's nothing that's impossible, she was gifted with that gift. She was pregnant, even against all the circumstances, against whatever the human understanding was, and it was actually possible, but it was only possible with God. The second part in Luke chapter 1 was actually with the story of Mary, and we all know how Mary, the mother of Jesus, conceived, and it was also a promise from God through an angel to say that she was going to be pregnant, and the reference that was made was also that of Elizabeth, and that's when we get to verse 37, which it was an explanation to Mary of the fact that she will also be a mother, she will also conceive, even though the biological sense of things doesn't agree with it, which is also seen as an impossibility. But she was also believing in the fact that she will be pregnant and conceive, rather. We all know how Jesus came into part, and also how that promise was actually put across. So for me, it speaks about the fact that even though human nature would tell us otherwise, there's always a way to see the impossibilities with God. And that's actually what the verse says, that there's nothing that will be impossible with God. Regardless of what society will tell us, regardless of whatever situation that we're going through is, we know the fact that if God says it, it's true. And it also says in the word that nothing that God says, I think it's in Numbers 23 verse 19, it says, God is not a man that he should lie. So whatever that he says, it's actually true. So it also adds to what the promise was to Mary as well, that whatever that Mary was promised and whatever that Elizabeth was promised, it actually came through. If we also go through Luke chapter 1, in the beginning, before the story of Elizabeth, when Zechariah was actually visited by the angel, when he was told the fact that his wife was going to conceive and have a son, he didn't believe it because of the fact that he could see with his physical eyes that it was not possible. Like the biology was not working because of the fact that they were both of age, the wife was of age as well, and it was not physically possible for her to conceive. But the one thing that I got from that passage was when the angel actually said to him that his mouth would be shut because of his unbelief or disbelief. And I saw that in a sense that sometimes when God says something that seems to be very much impossible to us, the only thing that we need to do is to keep quiet and also be able to wait for that fulfillment of God's promise. And at the end of that chapter, when Elizabeth actually gave birth to John, when Zechariah actually said his name is John, like the angel had instructed, his mouth then opened. And only then was when the promise of God was actually fulfilled. The impossibility that was there was actually fulfilled. And I believe that most of the time we don't really see things the way God sees them, but it's a prayer to say that we need to see the impossible because of the fact that we have God on our side. Another way of, so on the heading, we said that we also want to talk about believing in God for the impossible. In Joshua chapter 10, verse 12, it was a story about Joshua and the Israelites, and how God had promised the Israelites that they were going to win over the Amorites. And at that point, on Joshua's physical sight, I'm sure he didn't think that the Israelites were going to win because of the fact that they were outnumbered. But because of the fact that God had promised, it seemed impossible to Joshua, but because God had promised the Israelites victory. Verse 12, Joshua then prays to God to actually get the sun to stand still and the moon to stand still so that the Israelites could fight and actually win. It was obviously an impossible thing to even think of the sun standing still and the moon standing still. Like right now, if we had to think of the fact that we want to ask God for something that looks or seems to be very impossible, it's one thing that we need to remember, that even if to us it seems impossible, to God it's very possible. And we could see that with Joshua, because he asked and then God delivered. The sun stood still, the moon stood still, and it also says in the word that there has never been a day that was done. That was only done for Joshua because he had asked. And if he didn't ask for the impossible, God wouldn't have showed him the impossible. So it's also up to us as Christians to also remember that not allow our physical sight or allow our circumstances to determine our belief in God, because God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above anything that we can ever imagine or think. So it's always important that we make reference to his word and believe in what it says, because that's when the impossible is actually done, when we believe in God of the impossible. Leading to this word or this encouragement, my daughter, my niece, has not been walking, was not able to walk for like 3 years. She's 3 years now and she can't walk. She couldn't walk rather. But we believed in God for the impossible. The doctors said that we need to do operations, or whatever the case is, but we still believed in God for the fact that she would walk, even though the doctors, who are professionals and have been gifted and given the ability to do their work by God, we believed God above what the doctors or the experiences or whatever they had was. And like this week, she started walking. Well, even though it's not straight walking, she started doing a few steps, like 5 steps. For me, it's encouragement enough to keep on believing in God for the impossible. 3 years in her life, she didn't even have 1 step. But because of the fact that we still believe in God, who can do the impossible above whatever people can say, above whatever theory or anything, he can do the impossible. And it's all up to us to believe that, and up to us to actually just speak and believe what it is that we need from God. And yeah, I would just like to encourage us to always be mindful of the fact that whatever we think, if we're thinking beyond what we can see. So in closing, I would like to then encourage every single person to always just believe in God. Always believe in God for anything and everything. It's always important to not limit God because of whatever that we're going through, but I would like to encourage every single person to just keep on believing and believe beyond your expectations as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you're encouraged and remain in God. Thank you.